Hello, Louisiana Beer Reviews. We're doing another NOLA, New Orleans Lager and Ale Company beer. We did this one earlier.
This one's called Freak Out. It's advertised as an imperial. It's 7.3% alcohol with 4 different hops. We'll go ahead and pour this. I inadvertently popped it. We'll go ahead and pour this, get it out of the can, and Jake can do a little description on it as soon as we get the product out. Alright, so this is coming through with a lot of bubbles, a lot of foam. Look at that. You'd think he had Hooters with all that foam on a beer.
7.3% alcohol, brewed in New Orleans, freak you down to his toenails.
Did you say freak you down to his toenails?
Freaky. So there's a hop with a big mustache. Oh, they're trying to make the hop look like Frank Zappa. Okay. The man who coined the term freak out. Okay. I get it.
I'll be darned.
Another copyright infringement. Okay. Imperial Pale Ale with Zappa, Galaxy, and Nelson Sauvin hops. Zappa hops. Okay.
Look at all the bubbles in this.
This should have been the peaches and regalia. All right. Now, a little bit for Santa Claus, a little bit more for Santa Claus.
No, it's really bubbly.
A little bit more for Santa Claus. Magic dust. All right, now, it says Best Buy, October 25th, 2020, and then it says Mothers.
Well, we're not reviewing for that.
Mothers.
We're reviewing for the aspect of how well it's held up. We all know that this beer and the one before is out of date, and I was discussing the fact with Jay earlier that we would go and chase down some of these older beers that are out of date.
Save it for the swish and pour. Yeah, and you were getting out of dates for $1.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you were finding they weren't so terrible, like you might.
No,
say.
they were good. So I mean, you just got to roll the dice with these things, see what's happening, and if they're good, they're good. I'm just a little concerned about the amount of bubbles that are in this.
You mean it might be infected?
Well,
when they blow up like that, sometimes they're infected with wild yeast and they go wild.
Well, we're gonna know from first taste. I'm not gonna taste this until those bubbles dissipate. You can do all the tasting you want to do. Sorry, kids, if this video is going to take a little. I don't want any more of that.
Remember the good old days back in 2015 when we had that wonderful infected Bourbon County?
Yeah, and we did try a couple because
tasted like coconut.
Butt crazy and bought a bunch of them, and yeah, they didn't taste all that great. They weren't horrible, but they just weren't to par per se.
They sent me a refund on that. They sent me an $11 check.
And I wasn't worried about the check.
They interviewed me on the phone for 30 minutes.
I would have loved to receive the sweet t-shirt or something.
Yeah, the lady asked me on the phone, well, we're sorry this happened, and would you prefer getting a t-shirt or your money back? And I was like, I think I want my money back. Okay, well they sent me a t-shirt and the money. But I told her, I said, I did a video review, because she was like trying to be sure that I actually drank the beer and paid for it. She said, do you have a receipt? I said, yes, and I read the receipt number to her. I said, well, I have the video on YouTube, you could watch it. So she said, hold on, and then she's on the phone looking at it.
Right.
Oh, that's you? I said, yeah, and you could see I said something's wrong with the beer. Hold on a minute. So she said, I'm going to put you on hold. So she said, yeah, I was looking at it. She said, well, it'll take about 6 weeks to get the money. And it did. But she said, but we want a promise from you that you'll buy it next year when it comes out. I said, I'll buy it if I see it. But then the next year I didn't see it. So I didn't buy it. But somehow 2016 we got skipped.
Kind of push you into doing something you don't want to do. So
I mean, I was going to buy it every year anyway. I just didn't see it in 2016. And one more funny thing. She was Goose Island in Chicago, right? Goose Island. I was talking to her on the phone. And I asked the lady on the phone, I said, can I ask you a question? She said, yeah. I said, where are you calling? Where are you on the other end of this line? She said, St. Louis, Missouri. I said, oh, I know that place.
Home of Anheuser-Busch.
It wasn't Chicago, Illinois. She was from the Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch headquarters. Anyway, kind of interesting story. Well, this is a crazy foam head, and it's breaking down like a meringue.
It smells really, really good, though. Go ahead and give a whiff.
What is that, opaque cream color yellow?
Of course. Yes.
Of course.
Well, that's your description on all these.
Because they all look the same.
Same words. No, they don't. They're all
Okay,
different.
you come up with a better description then.
Cloudy, almost like Mississippi mud water color. Consistency. With a little vanilla stuff going on there. Like they took the mud water and turned it vanilla. Touche.
I think I'm going to stick with my descriptions. All right. It smells like a coconut cream pie.
Man, it smells good. It smells clean. Hold on. There's a little funk going on. You smell a little funk.
Man, these people are mommies of invention.
Who that?
I'll tell you what that means later off
Alright, so let's go ahead and taste it, see what it's all about.
Cheers.
Alright, cheers. Yes, this is another one of the dollar cans I picked up, so we'll see what this is all about.
That tastes weird.
It does taste weird. Man, it tastes like it's got like fresh cut plywood or something in it.
Fresh cut plywood. That's
Fresh
probably the first.
cut plywood.
That's probably the first time that's been used in a beer review.
You never cut plywood with a circular saw and it goes and it creates the dust that goes in the air and gets stuck in your nose. Or
Yeah, it
in your
smells like
mouth a
Home
little
Depot.
bit. And you kind of ingest it a little bit.
It smells
you
like
spit
Home
it out.
Depot.
Yeah, you get that flavor. That's what this is like. Maybe they use some brand new barrels or something.
Tastes like.
Well, it doesn't taste like teen spirit, so moving forward.
This is like a comedy show. Trying to be a comedian, huh? All right.
It doesn't taste like this.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
It's weird. It has like a coconut. It does have like a coconut.
Yeah, like a coconut husk. Yeah. So like, if you eat the pulp of a coconut, you get too close, you know, like if you crack them open, you get that little brown part, and then the rest of the inside, you know, after you drain the milk, you know, you drill it, bzz, bzz, drain the milk. Or some people call it water, whatever. And then you
Coconut
eat on it,
milk.
and you kind of like pop it off in your teeth, and you eat the white stuff. And there's like a little bit left, you kind of scrape it with your teeth. That's the coconut I'm getting out of this.
Doesn't taste definitively old though.
No, it doesn't.
It's now the IBUs must not be too high. It's not particularly bitter.
No, it's not. But it's,
I mean, if you're drinking Budweiser and Bud Light, yeah, it's going to seem like it's the most bitter thing ever, but it really isn't.
Freak Out Imperial Pale Ale with Zappa, Galaxy, Nelson,
Sauvin.
and Sauvin hops.
The body's high medium, so it's nearly heavy body. The finish is semi-sweet. On the Cyclops scale, I forgot to talk about that in the last few videos. It's probably 3 out of 5 sugar cubes. It's, you know, fairly sweet, but not particularly so. 3 out of 5 hop cones. So the bitterness is there, but it's not really too bitter.
You okay? I'm just getting that. I can't speak because something's coming up as you speak.
Yeah, bubbles.
Oh, so it's ultra carbonated. It's very carbonated, which I thought was kind of unusual. You pour it out. It's so dense. It's
The prickly carbonation. And this one was so dang flat. And this one is so prickly. It's like they took all the carbonation out of this one and transferred it to that one.
I think this stuff was just made during the time when everybody was just trying to make some money. They didn't really care.
Well, I I don't know what to say about these type of beers. They're okay. I'm talking about this whole style of the cloudy IPAs. I don't really like them. I mean, you bring them over, and sometimes I buy them and we try them, and they're nice. But
well, we're always putting them up the bat. You know, it's like, okay, go up the bat, see what you can do. You're gonna get first, second base, whatever. You're gonna hit a home run. Very seldom they hit a home run. They might hit a double. You know what I mean?
it's like, yeah, it's like
a lot of times they strike out or they pop fly out. It's like, oh, I mean, in pop fly, it's like, oh, this is really good until it goes down. It's like, ooh, out. Yeah. So
let's look at it like this.
So if I had to put this one on baseball terms,
It's a single.
no, it's a double. It's a double.
Think?
Yeah, it's a double. It's good. It's not horrible. Are you tasting anything off?
If it was horrible, it would be a strikeout.
Yeah.
All right. It's just.
It's old, kids.
You think of stuff.
We're judging it from the old scale.
I don't think that's really the issue. Really, fresh. It might have a little more pop to it, but you put these up against stuff like Torpedo, the old Southern Hemisphere, the one you brought over recently, the Liquid Poem.
Oh.
These cannot make it. They cannot.
No, they can't because they're not designed.
Cannot do it.
They're not designed for IPA drinkers. They're designed to convert people over to the IPA style. And I get it.
They're just kind of like depressing to me.
Right.
It's like, hey, you know how sometimes you're feeling down and you want to feel even worse? Drink some of these. You will. I shouldn't say that. It sounds terrible, but it's just the way I feel about it.
It does sound terrible. You like totally like this in this beer. This beer is not that bad.
Okay, I'm not the kind of person that drinks and I cry and pass out. I always say that beers are either upbeat or downbeat. And this one seems like, this whole style seems like it's downbeat. They're like a downer beer.
It's a very strong
the way I feel
beer.
about it.
So, okay. Well, I'm not going to talk about feelings. I'm going to talk about facts. Facts are this beer is out of date. I knew it ahead of time when I bought it. The experiment was to get these and try them from local brewers, support them as they are, and see what was going on, back in October 2020. Well, we all knew what was going on back in October 2020. The whole damn world was shut down. So, what was coming out of the breweries was something that they could make and put out. Did it sneak by QA? Possibly. We don't know. We can only speculate. Did it make it through QA? We don't know again. So, these guys are just trying to make money.
I think it's a style issue. I don't think it's a quality assurance issue. Just go back and look at all the videos I've
That's
made.
a pretty bold statement. I think it's a style issue. So now you're dissing the style.
Not that, no, for my own personal preference.
He was totally throwing casted shade on his style.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said it like about 50 times in the videos that it's not really appealing to me.
Well, this one is an ambrosia. To me, it's not ambrosia. That's like the worst.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Right, it's good.
I'm going to give it a high score. I'm just saying I
I'm
don't.
going to give it a high score too. I'm going to give it a lot higher than you think I'm going to give it. It's a double IPA. It's held up through time, I would think. The bitterness to me is there. Some of the notes have probably dropped off of. I don't know. I didn't try it fresh. I think it's a really good beer. I love the NOLA beers. For the most part, to me, they do a really good job. They've been around a long time.
Yeah, since 08.
Yeah.
I think the might have been 09, but I think the bitterness is there. It's not super bitter, but it's there. The body's there. It's kind of high, medium, nearly heavy bodied. It's got a semi-dry finish. It's got a lot of good characteristics to it. It's a well-made beer. I think the quality assurance was there. I don't think they just threw it out because of whatever gimmicks were going on. It's just my problem is a style problem. I mean, there's no way you can get around that. I mean, I'm trying to be fair about it. I would score it. Well, I should let you go first since you bought it.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to score it high.
Go
I'm
about,
going to score this higher than you think I'm going to score it.
go about 94 out of 100. I think it's a most excellent beer.
Okay, I didn't expect that score to you. I was going to go at 94 too.
See how it is?
94 meaning, well, that number was in my head. I didn't expect you. I thought you were going to score it low. I think they did a really
This
good
was all
job.
we
I
scripted
kind of
this.
I kind of like the way the bitterness level is coming through. I think it actually, and I'd love to have tried this fresh, but I didn't. But judging by some of the older IPAs that I've bought through the years, with doubles, triples, and imperials or whatever, I find that style holds true, and it also creates a different flavor. Some folks may call it a barley wine, where the IPA is turning into the barley wine, but this didn't have any sweetness backbone on it.
Yeah.
Usually, what happens with that when it turns into what's called a barley wine, you get a little sweet backbone on it. This didn't happen here. This was a kind of a unique style the way it aged, and I like it. I think it's good, and I would definitely buy it again. And the price point, I'm going to be there.
Wait, you mean a unique style the way it aged, or a unique beer the way it aged?
I just like the way it aged.
Oh, a unique beer.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was going to say we scripted the whole thing. We wrote, we sat down and wrote, and then we said before we recorded. Now let's at the end we'll both say 94.
Kids, I'm gonna say this for a record. I'm not a public speaker. The only reason why I'm speaking well now is because Jay and I and there's no one around. If there was a whole lot of people, I'd go.
No, I was saying we got together before we recorded and said now at the end we'll both say 94 and it'll look good.
No, I just like your style. Actually, I was gonna go a few points lower, but I kind of like the way it is. I like it.
For $1 a can, $1 a can. If I lived around that store, and I don't, but if I did, I'd buy a whole bunch of them. Okay, simple as that.
Right.
It's outdated, no big deal. Some people, they'd rather be tortured and beat to death than to drink a beer that's out of
Drawn
date.
and quartered, feathered
Yeah.
and tarred.
I mean, I'm not that particular. If it's $1 a can for a pint of beer that's held up, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'll drink it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, bon temps relais, keep up the good work, NOLA. And we're gonna end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.
Les pantalons, NOLA.